In the last section, we put together our initial implementation of the auth reducer. We're now going to change over to our reducers index.js file. So it should be empty right now. Make sure you're not looking at the index.js file in the src directory. We're going to import the auth reducer into here. We're going to combine it with a combine reducers call, thanks to the Redux library, and then immediately export it from this file. So at the top, we'll start by importing combine reducers from Redux. We will then import the auth reducer that we just created as auth reducer from auth reducer. And then we will place our combine reducers call and immediately export it. So export default combine reducers. I'm going to pass an empty object in, and then we're going to wire up the auth reducer inside of here. So remember, one very important aspect of the combine reducers call, this object that we're passing in, whatever keys we provide to this object are going to represent the keys that exist inside of our state object. So traditionally, we put at least a little bit of thought into the names that we give each of these keys. For our auth reducer, I think that a very clear solution here, or a very clear name, would be something like auth, like so. So we'll say the auth piece of state is being manufactured or produced by the auth reducer, like so. Okay, so this is looking pretty good. Now the very last step, very last thing we have to do, we're going to go back to our top level index.js file. We're going to import this reducer, and then we'll pass it off to the create store call. So I'm going to go back to the top level index.js file. I'm going to add in an import statement for all the different reducers. So import reducers from the reducers directory, and then we'll pass that as the first argument to create store. So reducers, like so. Cool, looks good. Again, I think that this is probably going to be a good place to do a little test inside the browser. Make sure that we haven't made any typos, any errors, anything like that. I'll first start off by checking out my terminal. I'll make sure that my server is running without any error messages over here. I will then change back over to the browser. I'll go back to the React app, and it looks like I still have my text hi there on the screen. Okay, so this is looking pretty good. If you see any error messages at this point, it likely means that you might have a little typo somewhere inside the setup we just did. So I encourage you always to do a little bit of troubleshooting on your end. See if there's any easy to find errors, any small typos, anything like that. If you find it, great. If you can't find it, let me know. Post over on the discussion, include a screenshot, tell me what the error message is that you see. At this point, if you are seeing an error here, 90, maybe I won't say 90, but maybe like 70% of the time, it's usually going to be caused by some bad import or export statement. Usually it's something like including curly braces when you shouldn't have curly braces, which would be like, if you put curly braces on auth reducer right here. Very common error to make. So do triple check that if you are seeing an error. Otherwise, let's take a break, continue the next section, and talk about exactly what we're going to be doing with our auth reducer. So I'll catch you in the next section.